Hi everyone, Chad here back with Kinetics for another at-home or travel workout. Keep in mind when you perform these, there many times are opportunities for you to add some additional load or equipment that you may have access to. However, they are meant to be done primarily without the use of any external equipment. You're also given some rep ranges and set ranges so that you can determine what's going to fit best with your schedule and as well as your fitness level. So you can make some adjustments within these to make it fit you better. Today we're going to go through our prep, sweat, and breathe portion. And we'll get started with our prep. You have 3 to 4 sets of 4 different movements. So what we're looking at today is 1 minute of a straight leg bear crawl. So like it sounds, I'm going to keep my knees extended so my legs are straight. I'm still going to practice stepping in opposition. So left hand and right foot move at the same time. Right hand and left foot move at the same time. I'm picking them up with control, setting them down with control. I'm moving for a minute, depending on the space that you have available. Okay, this can just be traveling forward. You can do some laps. You can work on going forward and backward in this position, or even play around with some lateral or angled movement as well. But you're working for 1 minute of that straight leg bear crawl. After that, we'll go to a standing, alternating knee to elbow. So bringing my hands up into that prisoner position, I'm going to stand, put all my weight on one foot, and I'm bringing opposing knee and elbow to each other, nice and controlled. Okay, trying not to have that little bit of stumble that I just had there. Trying to raise that knee, brace, and control the movement. So we're not doing one of these as fast as we can, right? Here, show me that you can control it, okay? Bringing that elbow down to the knee, holding that position, bringing it back, okay? 8 to 10 reps total, alternating sides. After that, alternating lateral lunge, also 8 to 10 reps. Nice wide position with our feet here. And we're going to lunge or squat down toward one side. Other leg remains straight, chest remains up. We're not letting ourselves rotate when we perform this. So we'll squat to one side, squat to the other side. Okay, and 8 to 10, nice and smooth and controlled. You need a real wide stance for this, so set your feet apart. After those, we have 8 to 10 reps of a prisoner good morning. So for this, hands are going to go back up into that interlock, that prisoner position where they're behind our head. We want to make sure that we're trying to open up the chest. On these, and any sort of prisoner position movement, don't pull on the back of your head. We don't want to wrench on our neck. If you find yourself doing that, just widen your hands out a little bit so your fingertips are on the back of your head. You're not pulling as much. But from here, I'm just going to hinge the hips. Pushing my hips back, slight bend at the knees and the bottom, hip-driven movement. Okay, so the hip initiates, back remains flat throughout. Okay, don't let yourself start to arch around. If you do, just limit your range of motion a little bit there. 8 to 10, real slow, smooth, controlled, so you can feel the glutes and the hamstrings starting to warm up and contract, okay? We'll get 3 to 4 sets in there. This workout on a Saturday is meant to be done outside, so depending on the weather and your accessibility to be able to get out there, you could take this warm-up, this prep piece, and you could just extend it into 5, 6, up to even 8 sets. And that could be your workout in its entirety, right? If I wanted to, I can go ahead and add a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something like that to the alternating lateral lunge and the prisoner good morning. If I want to make this a little bit more challenging in terms of strength and I'm not going to be able to move on to this next piece. So these Saturdays are always going to be structured in a way where you can add volume to the prep section, and that can actually be your movement for the day if you don't have access to a park or a backyard or the ability to get outside on that particular day. If you do, we strongly encourage you to get outside, get some fresh air, move in nature, go to the park, bring your kids, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. We'll go into our next piece now that can be done there. So working for about 20 to 30 minutes, again, making the adjustment based on time that you have available, as well as your current fitness level. What we're doing today is we need to mark off about 100 feet, okay? Whatever you need to do to set up those parameters, give yourself roughly a 100-foot distance, and we have several different movements we're gonna perform. The first being 100 feet of a walking lunge, okay? When we do our walking lunge, I encourage you to try and step out into that immediate next step without bringing your feet together at the top. If you can't do that, by all means, you can just bring those feet together, regain your balance, then step into the next rep, okay? Either of those options are fine, but you're gonna walking lunge for 100 feet. You get to that 100-foot mark, you're gonna turn around and run back to your start point. That is gonna be what you do each time you perform a different movement. You're gonna run back. So walking lunge, 100 feet, run 100 feet back. Then we have a lateral bear crawl for 100 feet. So for our lateral bear crawl, you're setting up in that quadruped position, and we're just stepping sideways, okay? When you get about halfway, turn and go the opposite direction, right? So I'm traveling to my right, about halfway through, I'm gonna spin around, be a little spinny bear, and I'm gonna go to my left for the last 50 feet. When I get to my 100-foot marker, I'm gonna run back. After that, we have a low crab walk. So low just referring to hip height. I'm gonna get into that crab position, okay? Hips are hovering off the ground, and I'm going to crab walk my 100 feet. Again, if you want to change this up, I would probably go ahead and crab walk forward 50 feet, turn my little crab body around, and crab walk backward 50 feet before running back to my start point. Last movement that we have is going to be a squat thrust plus a broad jump, okay? So for that, we're going to drop down into a plank. Ideally, we're seamlessly transitioning from one movement into the next. So it should look something like this. Right from bringing the feet up out of that squat thrust immediately into the jump. If that's really tough for you, just not accessible, by all means, squat thrust, stand, and then broad jump, okay? Preferably the first option, if you can do that. If not, break the two movements apart, okay, and perform them somewhat separately like that. So you'll go 100 feet of that squat thrust plus a broad jump, then jog back. Repeat those movements for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so again, 100 feet of walking lunges, run back. 100 feet of lateral bear crawls, switching direction about halfway through, run back. 100 feet of a low crab walk, switching directions about halfway through, run back. Then 100 feet of a squat thrust plus a broad jump, run back. And you're gonna continue to cycle through those 4 movements with a run back to your start point for 20 to 30 minutes. When this is all done, make sure that we're not omitting our breathe section. So take some time. Recommended position is a static back position. So laying down on your back in a supine position, feet are elevated, knees are bent at about 90 degrees. If you have a bench or something you can elevate your feet up onto in the park, by all means do that. If you don't, just go ahead and lower the feet down to the ground and be in a bent knee position, something like this. So if I don't have anything available, I'm just here, nice and passive and relaxed, big belly breath, eyes closed. If I have an ability to elevate my feet to create this 90-degree angle at my knee and hip, by all means do so. Take the time to do this. Spend that 5 minutes for yourself. Okay? If you can extend it to 10 or 15 and add in a meditative or mindfulness practice, we definitely encourage you to do that. It's really valuable. All right? Enjoy your workout. Let us know how it goes, and we'll see you next time.